Robots Radio presents
Fresh Tomatoes, the movie podcast.
I'm not usually a hat fan, but wow.
Jeg vil ikke være en dagger.
I'm really sipping on that dumb bitch juice today, and
Yeah, I am. But you know what? Someday I just might grow out of that, but you will never stop being a jerk.
All chocolate cakes are good. You're a fascist.
it's hideous.
It's horrible.
It's home. Angry white boy, let's go! And welcome to Fresh Tomatoes, the movie podcast. The sweet girl that is gonna fix all of your childhood trauma. That's Chad Ekowitz.
And that's Simone LaRue, because I just don't care about anything. I'm a man and I'm a bad boy and I just don't care.
You do have some tattoos, so...
Yeah, you know what? That I just like to feel the pain and other douchey things that you can say about stuff. Oh, teen angst, Simone.
God, remember being a teenager and how, like, you just feel everything.
It is really crazy that they allow us to go to school at this period. We should be locked away on a farm and just kept in separate compartments, not allowed to see other human beings for 5 years, and then it's gold, and where everything can be fine.
Oh my god.
Let's talk most teen angsty moments. What was your like highlight of your teen career in terms of angst or rebellion, that kind of thing? Oh
my god, I wanted to be a you know, everybody wanted to be on YouTube in 2008. Like, it wasn't a weird thing. So like I had all these videos of me like video blogging.
Beautiful.
Just crying. My first serious boyfriend ever had broken up with me over the summer.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
So it was just videos of me like sobbing at the camera about my feelings. Thank God, for some reason, I couldn't figure out how to get them uploaded. Like the format that the video recorded in was a weird one. So thank God they never saw the light of day.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe I'd be a famous YouTuber now. So
you would either be a famous YouTuber or a meme of some kind, but either way, just your rise to fame would just be instant.
And I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I'm not a pretty crier. Like, there's nothing cute about it.
You just needed to share your pain with the world. Oh man. It's gotta be when I dyed my hair pitch black. It was probably...
that's not...
No, it was not a good move.
See, you're like a spring summer. You're certainly not a fall winter.
Yeah, no, it was a mistake. So I went pitch black and proper emo cut halfway across my eyes, like over my eyes. And the ridicule I got, not from school, surprisingly, but from the
your
Taekwondo
parents must
club.
have roasted the shit out of you.
My dad did. I came home with the hair and he went, take the wig off. And he was being genuine, which was insane. So, but no, my Taekwondo club at the time just roasted me nonstop. Wow. And then the one morning I decided to cut it myself, Simone, which is always a good decision. So that was for like amazing. And then I just got it shaved right down until I had like little black tips essentially that grew out, which was super great. It was a good summer, as you can imagine, and didn't affect me at all and my soul.
If it makes you feel any better, hair-wise, I had like fire truck red hair.
What?
Yeah, fire truck red. And like I got it done professionally the first time because my mom, bless her, she's like, if you're gonna do something dumb with your hair, at least have a professional do the dumb thing. And then, like, you know, your roots start growing out and stuff. So, like, my mom and I made this decision together. We were like, oh, we'll just touch up my roots with box dye.
Oh, no.
So I had a very trendy, a couple years too early, Billie Eilish style roots, like a totally different color from the rest of my hair.
Spectacular.
Oh, it was.
Oh,
and
wow.
I felt like hot shit. I'm not going to lie. I felt like, what's her face from Paramore?
Oh yeah, she was great. Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Wow. Okay, so we were both hair dumbasses, clearly. Although you were a trendsetter, just 10 years too early, unfortunately.
I was ahead of my time.
Probably Billie Eilish saw a photo of you and was just like, "That is it.
Yes,
That's what I want."
Yes, I absolutely believe. I have to
Billie,
believe that that's what happened. Billie, call me. I'll give you more
you.
tips.
And speaking about tips, which I think these two movies certainly could have had, we are doing teen angst movies this week, and we have Simone has chosen the best teen angst movies of all time. What are those two movies, Simone?
Oh, guys, these movies, there's actually more to come. They're just the first 2 parts of a 5-part series of books.
5 parts? Gross. Disgusting. And we're going to review all of them. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. So those movies are After and After We Collided. Based on Anna Todd's novels by the same name, which are based originally on the One Direction fanfic that she wrote that was wildly popular.
If it's anything like these movies, I'm very scared for the future because
no, I wouldn't worry. Like, we'll get into it, but like a lot of the stuff that happens here is like very tropey for fan fiction.
Okay.
Like it's just sort of inherent to the genre, I guess.
Right.
And we'll get into it. But like, I think every teen girl goes through a phase where like, you're like, yes, this is like the most romantic outcome that my like hormone-soaked brain can imagine.
Everything is on fire constantly.
You just need to, you know what? You just need to live through that by reading some fan fictions about your hot pop culture boy or gal of choice. And then you grow up and you're like, oh wow, boundaries are a good idea in a relationship.
I wish I had had more time today to get prepared for this, because I wanted to bring across some red flags that I could just wave every time in either of our plots that was just, even the slightest bit problematic. Because I think these two movies, like their relationship within them, and I mean we will get into them, but the relationship within them ranges from like ever so slightly problematic to holy shit, both of you should be committed problematic. And I wish I had some red flags to just give a little bit of a wave around as we went through this episode, because yikes on bikes, to quote you. Yeah.
Yikes on bikes, indeed. To get us through it though, Chad.
Yes.
What are you drinking?
Well,
I beat you to the punch.
Hey, you did. You're on it. So I only finished work about 7 minutes before we started recording this. So I decided to continue the lawyerly vibe. I might go out and murder someone a bit later, really just like, lean into the 70s lawyer kind of vibe. So I am drinking fire whiskey, Jackie Daniels fire whiskey with a couple blocks of ice.
What a banger.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? I wanted just normal Jackie D, but we don't have any in the house. This is how whimsical we are. We don't have normal things here. It's very strange. And
what a life you lead.
What a life I lead. What are you drinking?
I am drinking a nice, wholesome rooibos tea, because I went to a wedding yesterday and I just want to give my liver a little break. I wasn't even hungover, actually. Because I had work the following day.
That has never stopped you before.
Yeah. A, we don't actually have any alcohol in the house at the moment. And B, I was in no way tempted to go and buy some.
Okay. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah. You had a really good night yesterday, and now you can just relax and enjoy your rooibos tea. Yeah. Did you add any honey to it, or is it just simply the bag?
Just a little bit of sugar.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very tasty. Lovely. Well, because these movies are chronological, we did agree that you would start. So After goes first, which is always fun to say, and then we'll get into it. So I am so excited to see where you go with this.
I tried to read like the IMDb synopsis for this just to like remind myself of the events. It is so needlessly detailed. It was clearly written by a very big fan of this franchise. So I'm going to just speed things along if that's cool.
The abridged notes, although I must say, I do think with plots like this, where it is nothing happens, it's one of those things that you cannot give a plot synopsis unless you give every single little detail, because absolutely nothing happens. So your plot synopsis would be a line long, where it's just like two crazy fucking people get together and then that's it. Like everything in the middle is just superfluous. So yeah.
Well, here we go. Okay, so Tessa, played by Josephine Langford, is an ordinary girl who's about to start her journey going into college. She's a good girl who's super committed to her boyfriend, Noah, played by Dylan Arnold, and has worked really, really hard to get into college. She's also got a slightly controlling mom who just wants the best of her, Carol, played by Selma Blair. When she gets to college, it's immediately clear that her roommate is going to be a bad influence, but Tessa convinces her mom to let her live her life. So her mom leaves, Noah leaves, Tessa's left to her own devices. Who is the roommate? Tristan is her, no.
Yeah, that sounds right. Tristan sounds right.
Steph is her roommate, played by Khadijah Red Thunder, and she's got a girlfriend named Tristan, played by Pia. Okay, but everything seems okay so far. The next day at lectures, Tessa meets a new friend. His name is Landon, played by Shane Paul McGee. He's also kind of bookish and a bit of a nerd, and the two of them immediately hit it off. Later that day, Tessa goes back to her dorm to take a shower, and that's when she meets Hardin.
Oh no. She went there.
I mean,
obviously.
we all know.
Yeah.
We all know. Hardin, played by Hero Fiends Tiffin, is chilling out on Steph's bed, being kind of a dick. Tess immediately doesn't like him. She thinks he's super arrogant, but the two of them keep meeting again and again, and an attraction between them is evident. It all kind of comes to a head when Tessa's finally convinced by Steph to go to a house party. They all start playing Truth or Dare, and she gets dared to kiss Hardin, and she's like, nah, fuck this. And Hardin's never been rejected before, so oh my God. They start chatting later. It turns out he's actually also super into literature. And she's like, oh my God, he's so deep. But she's so conflicted because she's still got her boyfriend, Noah, back home. This goes back and forth for a bit. He finally asks her to spend some more time with him. The two of them seem to really be hitting it off. And then Noah comes to surprise her.
Oh no.
Oh no. She's like, oh no, but I'm so busy feeling conflicted. So she's like, okay, cool. Like, let's all go to this bonfire party together. And she's hanging out with Noah. Everyone gets to meet him. And then Jace, played by Sven Temmel. He tries to hit on Tessa. Noah's like, haha, knock it off, dude. But no. Hardin is having none of it, and he starts punching Jace in the face. Tessa's really mad about it, so she leaves. But then she gets a call from Landon. It turns out that Landon is Hardin's stepbrother, so they live in the same house sometimes. Except Hardin also lives at the frat, except he also lives at the house.
But he also has that Italian flat thing.
Whoa, let's not get into that just yet.
Okay. Yes. All right. My bad.
He says that Landon tells her that Hardin has been having like this huge meltdown, but in the midst of it, he mentioned Tessa's name, so he thought maybe Tessa could help. Tessa goes and she's like, hey, Hardin, what's up? He's drinking by the pool, even though he previously told her he doesn't drink. Guess he does now. And he's like, no, he's really mad because his dad's engaged, and he's mad about like how like his mom is being treated in London, and it's like a whole thing. And Tessa's just like really cool about it. Like really cool. And then the two of them have sex. They just make out. They don't have sex.
Yeah, they just make out at that point. Yeah. Sex is later. Yeah.
Yeah, sex is later, but they definitely do a lot of making out. And Tessa she's still so conflicted. But the next morning she comes back. There's Noah. He's like, where have you been? And then he quickly realizes what's been happening and they break up. Tessa's very sad, but she soon gets over it because she and Hardin start getting quite serious. Tessa's mom finds out about Hardin and is like, oh, if you don't break up with him, I'm gonna cut you off. And Tessa's like, well, do it, because she's 18 and very horny. So her and Hardin sort of occupy this apartment together for a while, and it all seems very nice and romantic, and things are going so well. Like, he's actually admitted that maybe he loves her. And then it turns out when they're having dinner with all of Hardin's really shitty asshole friends that actually what had happened at the party when they were playing Truth or Dare after she left was he was like, oh, I bet you I can make her fall in love with me. So it was all a bet. But Hardin's like, no, Tessa, I've changed. Things are different now. And she's still so mad at him. So she goes storming out. And he knows he's fucked up. And there's a montage of them both being sad because he fucked up. The movie ends where Tessa has started applying for an internship at some place at the end of the semester. Vance Publishing.
It forms a huge part of my synopsis.
I'm sorry, it is critical to your synopsis.
It's critical to my synopsis, so that's why I know it, not because I'm a huge fan of these.
As she walks out of her last English class of the semester, the professor hands her an essay and is like, hey, Hardin turned this in, but I think it's more for you. It's kind of basically a love letter that Hardin turned in.
I forgot about that part. That's great.
And it sort of seems like Tessa might be on the path to forgiving him, but the movie ends.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. What is your...
I'm so exhausted.
That was exhausting. So what is your cliffhanger for this one?
Oh, it's definitely going to be like the first time they properly chat when she's like in his room reading his copy of Wuthering Heights. And like, here's the thing though, like I'm watching this and there's the grown-up part of my brain that is like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever said. No human being talks like this. But there's also like the 12-year-old girl part of my brain where I'm like, he's so bad, but he wants to be good for her. And he's secretly deep and he's so obsessed with her. And like, I don't think, to be honest, like there's a lot wrong with everything here, but like,
yes.
On a very basic level, there is nothing wrong with enjoying wish fulfillment stuff like this.
No, I mean that's the whole. There is multiple genres that just delve into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I must say, you know, Hardin is kind of like this wonderful. Okay, the actor who plays Hardin, bit iffy, but we'll get into that as well. But Hardin as a character is essentially an amalgamation of the three big fan fictions. You've got Edward Cullen, Dorian Gray, Christian Grey, and Harry Styles. Like that, it's a perfect blend of the three of them together. You got the bad boy who's also sexy, who's also rich, who also wants to protect her, is also violent and could kill her. Like it's everything that you want from everything. So no wonder it should be very popular, and every 12-year-old girl would just go ballistic for him. Unbelievable.
Oh man. I mean, even actual Harry Styles, I think he's very handsome and I have a little crush on him. So I get it. I get it. And also I will say that the chemistry between the two leads is fantastic. I think they do a great job.
Yeah, no, they really, really do. The actress who plays Tessa is exceptional. Like I'm a huge fan of hers. You know, in this, she reminds me of the woman who plays the sister to Black Widow in Black Widow. Do you know who I'm talking about? She was also in Fighting with My Family. I can never remember her name.
I know exactly who you mean. It's Florence Pugh.
We'll go with Florence Pugh while I look it up. But yes, she just reminds me of that. And
she reminds me very much of who plays Betty in Riverdale.
Right. I haven't watched Riverdale yet. And you were right about Florence Pugh. You nailed that.
Great.
So very good. You're much better at
Lily
faces than I am.
Reinhardt
Lily
plays
Reinhardt.
Betty in Riverdale.
Yeah, but she was great. She was absolutely perfect in this. I think she carried a lot of the film. You know, a lot of shit does happen to her, and I think she did really, really well. Him, on the other hand, is this weedy little man baby who very much upset my soul.
At least, like, he's not some, like, 28-year-old looking buff motherfucker where it's like, you should not be anywhere near this child, sir. Like, at least he looks age appropriate, you know? And it is modeled off of Harry Styles, who is also, like, a pretty slender dude.
Okay. Yeah, no, fair enough. Like, you make
I don't know why I'm defending this so hard.
Look, you make a really good point, I guess, and maybe I'm just being a bit biased because you know he portrays this confidence, and it's this sort of belief that we're supposed to have in this movie that he's dangerous, and you're just like, motherfucker,
like,
a strong wind,
do?
a strong wind could snap you in two, bro. Like, I don't understand. I'm pretty sure, like, he wore heavy boots at some point, and I was wondering how he didn't sort of like have to drag his feet along because he didn't have the muscle power to lift his legs. So yeah, but I also want to talk about the hero of this first movie, who is the English teacher.
Oh my god.
Is my favorite human being ever, because she has like two great scenes in this. So the first one is when like Tessa and Hardin are like having a debate, and all she goes at the end, she just goes, and that is what university is all about, or some other half nonsense
she's like, this
bullshit.
is the point of great literature.
Yeah, and you're just like, shut up, I hate you so much. And then at the end, she hands his assignment to her, which is against all university protocol. Like, what? How does she know about their relationship?
I have to assume by that point she was like, listen, this kid's gonna have to repeat my class anyway, because this is not a real assignment. I was so confused by that. I was like, surely you can complete your English essay and write a love letter. Like,
absolutely. Like, this was not the assignment. Did he only have
so much time? And he was like, cool, I'm just gonna 2 birds, 1 stone this.
It was so beautiful. And it's the fact as well that this English teacher knows who they are. As university graduates, we both know that our lecturers did not know who we were.
Didn't give a shit.
No, and rightly so. I wouldn't have given a shit either.
Although, I guess Hardin is the dean's son, so she would definitely know who he is. And Tessa's unbearable teacher's pet, so...
Yeah. You say unbearable teacher's pet. You know both of us were that teacher's pet. Like,
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. So the relationships with Tessa and literally everyone else in this film. Now, so much gaslighting, and you're better at articulating these things. So I want to hear your sort of feelings, like the relationship with the mom, the relationship with the first boyfriend, the relationship with Hardin, like how, like, red flags. Let's go.
Oh my god. With her mom, like, she's like, Mom, you've got my whole life planned. You're so controlling. And her mom's like, literally, I just want you to go to college, not fuck it up for some boy, and not do drugs. Like, that's it. Those are the top 3 things I want. And she's like, you can't control me, Mom. And then her mom bafflingly like cuts off her daughter after, like, that character doesn't make any sense. I don't understand how they got Selma Blair in to play her.
Yes, right? That was a win, and then she gets the worst character.
Yeah. She gets the worst role. And then with Dylan, that was weird, I guess. It could have been done a lot better, obviously, but you know, we've all dated someone, and then we look up and we're like, oh
wow,
what are we doing? Do we like, why are we here? Like, why are we doing this?
How did we let this happen? Yeah.
So fair, valid. Again, who hasn't been shitty when they're a teenager?
Yeah, teenage years are a nightmare.
This is how I'm justifying a lot of this. Like, I'm just like, you know, who among us has been an amazing communicator and amazing at setting boundaries at 18 with a dude who we find incredibly hot?
Yeah, no, you have some really, really good points. You see, I think I've viewed this way too much through an adult's lenses, and not realizing how much of a shitty human being I was in high school, and you know, so you're absolutely right. I mean, look, the mom was just like you say, just way too OTT. No human being would ever act like that ever. It's like, oh, this boy is gonna hurt you, so I'm gonna cut you off. What?
Yeah.
What?
Mother. Especially like after we find out that Tessa's dad like left them both, so it's just been the two of them, and it's like, cool, so your mom is very quickly gonna cut you off.
Yeah, makes complete sense. Yeah, it's a great lesson for her. And then I think my favorite part from the Dylan fiasco was after she went out one night and she got a little bit drunk, he sends her a text that's like, I'm disappointed in you. If I'm in university and my high school boyfriend says to me he's disappointed in me, that dude is blocked hard.
If Rudy said that to me now, like if I went out to a party and he was like, oh, I'm really disappointed in you, I'd be like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you would assume it's a joke because it's so nonsensical.
Yeah, so like that was weird, and then there's the scene obviously where like Jace is hitting on Tessa, and like Dylan handles it really well. He's like, hey man, like he's pretty cool about it. He's like, hey man, she's clearly not keen, like it's really not like cool what you're doing, and he's still keeping the mood up so like the party could move along. And Hardin comes fucking sprinting like a football player and tackles him to the ground. Like the situation has been resolved, sir.
But that's why we love Hardin, because he's just this guy who feels so much, and we can fix him and his feelings. You know, we love the raw passion. Who doesn't love that raw passion in a human being?
But then, it obviously becomes clear that it's a little problematic when, like, literally the next scene, he realizes he's fucked up. He realizes Tessa's mad at him. So what does he do? He goes on a bender and makes sure that, like, his brother knows that the only person he should call is Tessa. And then when she gets there, he's all drunk and vulnerable. And, like, it's a little her fault because he's so sad about her.
Oh no, it's completely her fault. It's completely her fault. Yeah, that's the whole point of his character and his attitude.
Yeah, so she just feels immediately like really guilty, and she's like, okay, well, let me help you out. And then like the moment that she lets her guard down, he just like moves in on her.
And it's very predatory as well, if you think about it. Like it's incredibly predatory.
It's
that
really
scene,
not cool.
Yeah, that scene at the lake, like when he's like really getting sexually aggressive with her, like she's clearly very uncomfortable, and like she might want it or not, but you know, that's not very nice. You know,
it's very manipulative, because like he like forces her to jump into this lake, and she's still not comfortable being like semi-naked, and then they get out of the lake, and like by this point she's like committed. She's like, okay, I'm in. I think I want this to go somewhere. And then he's like, we've got all the time in the world. I'm a respectful guy. And then she's like the one left being like, oh, I'm the desperate one.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, this should actually be, let me start that again, otherwise you're gonna have a cough. This should actually be both of these movies, to be fair, should actually be a training video on what to look out for in a really toxic relationship, because it is, like you say, making it her fault, making her feel like the dependent one, and he's being quote unquote chivalrous about the whole situation. The constant aggression, the inability to filter emotions, jealousy, overprotection, codependency, like it is the Hardin of it all, are all those things. So these movies are actually brilliant as red flag awareness days. Yeah.
Definitely it's it's all very worrying. The final thing I want to cover, because I feel like all the other aspects of the relationship we're going to cover in the next movie.
Yes.
But I feel like this is also going to probably come up in the next movie, is the apartment that they stay in.
Yes. So, oh my God.
Because Tessa gets cut off, I assume that she loses her accommodation or something.
Essentially, that's what I would assume.
It's not made clear.
No.
It's really not.
She can
made
still go to
clear.
school though, apparently.
Yeah. So maybe her tuition was already paid up, but like, I don't know. I don't know. It's not important. But Hardin's like, oh, I found this apartment that we can stay in. We, not her by herself. So she
Yeah.
has her own space. It's definitely a we situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Which is really healthy when they've been dating for like 10 seconds and haven't even had sex with each other.
Mhm.
And he's like, no, this apartment, it's this beautiful like loft apartment.
Oh, it's stunning.
It's gorgeous. And he's like, no, this belongs to one of my dad's friends. She's a professor and she's in Italy for the year. So she asked me to water the plants. And they just spend the next 2 movies shacked up full on
Oh yeah.
in that
Yeah.
apartment. Can you think of anything that would make you more furious than getting back from your year-long trip in Italy back to your beautiful loft apartment, which you bought with your own money as a professor, where you don't earn a lot?
Yeah, that is impressive.
You decorated, and you find out that like 2 18-year-olds have just been boning all over the apartment with their gross hormonal bodies everywhere.
Burn it to the ground. Burn
I'd be
it
furious.
to the ground. Kill them both. And then that's it. And
And
just
I don't see
laugh
them
in the
watering
embers.
plants at least once. Like, I bet all her plants are dead.
Okay, there's a lot I want to speak about the apartment in the second movie because I mean it's a key metaphor for their relationship is that apartment. But yes, like Hayden as who in their right mind as well goes, "Hey Hayden, you're a responsible young adult.
Yes.
Would you mind
His name's
looking
Hardin,
onto my
please, Chad?
Sorry,
Would you please get it right?
Harden, because you know, harden his emotions. It's very literal.
That sounds like Harry.
Oh, that too. Yeah, I was just more thinking of his closed off exterior. Oh,
true,
he's so
true.
guarded, like a hardened thing. It's so
Oh.
deep. This book is so
Guys,
fucking deep.
Guys.
But yeah, who goes to Harden and goes, you're the one to look after my apartment for a year. Not a chance.
My dean friend's estranged and troubled and angry son.
Yeah, no responsibility there. No. So what did you enjoy about this movie? We need to keep to the true nature of this podcast, at least a little bit.
Like I said, the key with these movies is to not, like, don't read into it. Don't think about it. This is a fan fiction. It's got all the fan fiction-y tropes. It's got the, I'm naked in front of my crush, what to do? He can't stop looking at me. It's got the, oh, I'm the one girl to have rejected him, this bad boy character, and now he's obsessed with me. It's got the bookish girl who like, oh, wow, this guy's obsessed with me. Like, it's just all... It's like candy for your brain. Like it's just like pure wish fulfillment. And don't think about it. It's not good for you. Don't think about it.
Yeah. It is literally like eating candy. Just the calories, the sugar. Yeah. No, you're so very right. It's a horrible drug.
With the chemistry that those two actors have, there are a lot of scenes, like the lake scene is actually pretty steamy. Like I get it. I could see it.
They pulled it off. And I mean, yeah, like the actual like sort of filming of it and everything, like everything that went into the movie is actually very, very good. I mean, you texted me with the joy and jubilation about the cover of Avril Lavigne's Complicated, which was an acoustic rendition. And it was the perfect thing for this 2018 movie. I mean, that's what you need. Early Avril in acoustics. Perfect. Yeah. It is one of those things. It's just this like molasses of a movie that you just treacle over your pancakes and you just enjoy. The characters are horrible, but the acting's not bad. What I loved about it is all the other men. So like Landon, he's gorgeous and funny, and I'm like, oh, you should be with him. You know, proper Jewish mother. He's based
on it's all the different One Direction boys. That's the thing. So Landon is based, sorry, I saved this because I was like, I don't know the One Direction guys very well at all. Okay. Zed is obviously Zayn Malik. Landon is Liam.
Okay.
Nate is Niall Horan. And Logan, who I, for the life of me, cannot remember, is Lewis Tomlinson. Louis? Louis.
I have no idea. You're saying names to me, and I'm like, yeah, sure, fair enough. So, well, some of those characters were in the movie, and some of those characters were One Direction. I would not be able to tell you which. But yeah, love Landon. Landon, he's great. He's this fun, upbeat guy. He asks, Tessa for coffee. She immediately rejects it, and I'm like, mistake number one, girl. Really good fun. And I think that really is perpetuated in number 2 as well. Like, you get these really great male characters who are just like peppered
just
throughout
supposed to confuse
Tessa's
her.
life. Mm-hmm.
And they all treat her better than her boyfriend does.
And every time she is just like, nah, bruh, gotta go with Harden. He is the man for me. Unbelievable.
Like, yes, you're very kind and considerate, but have you seen his tattoos?
Yeah, he's so sexy.
Look how angry he is.
His British accent is perfect.
Is it okay?
No,
I don't know if he's actually British.
I don't know either. It just sounded so ridiculous. It sounded like he's been punched constantly in the face, and now he's got like a weird accent.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm very interested now. He's not too bad looking. He's a little weird looking, but
he's strangely attractive. I think that's the best way to describe him.
Known for his role as 11-year-old Tom Riddle in the 6th installment of the Harry Potter films.
Oh, I liked him in that, actually.
Now that I'm seeing other pictures of him where he's not just like dopey in this film, he's got a little something. He's
okay.
Pretty. There's something to him.
There's you feel it. You're feeling it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
fair
I
enough.
could see it. I could see it.
Yeah,
God, how old is he?
Here we go. Will this bit be cut out?
Okay, he was born in 97, so like we're okay.
We're fine.
Yeah.
We're good. Yeah, you're not a predator. You're all right. Good. Yeah, I think I think you must be right about that, because he is supposed to be like the sad, cajoled human being in this, and that really does make him look so dumb, so dumb.
Yeah, super dopey.
Anyway, let's move on.
What did you like? Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, we'll move on. Otherwise, we're gonna be here forever. And I mean, to be fair, I could talk about these movies forever. Yeah. I wish we could go scene by scene on this. So yeah, scene that could have saved it.
Like I said, there's nothing wrong with having something where it is like wish fulfillment and it isn't necessarily like the healthiest thing. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with enjoying that in a story, and there's nothing inherently wrong with having that in a story, right? But like, I think there should be some element, like if she'd had a closer friend or something who's just questioning things the whole time, who's like, hey, Tessa, like, isn't it a little fucked up that he did that? Or like, just like some acknowledgement. I mean, they kind of do acknowledge it in a very like sexy way, where it's like, oh, we're so bad for each other, we're so toxic, but they're like just so into it.
So into it regardless. Yeah.
Yeah. But it would be cool, like, I don't know, to address like they're just like, oh, we're so bad for each other, and they act like it's because they fight all the time, but that's not why.
That's not why. No, I mean, it's part of it. It is a huge part of it, but it's not the reason why they're toxic.
I don't know, some acknowledgement. Maybe if there was another couple in their life who was really healthy and happy, who could like be compared and contrasted with it, or just like some indication of like, hey, here's what's wrong. It's not wrong that you're enjoying it. It's not wrong that like you are entertained by it, but like
recognize that this is a problem. Yeah, absolutely.
You're right. Going to be really bad for them.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, that is the theme of the second one, and nothing changes. Not a spoiler alert, but fucking nothing changes, and it's unbelievable. Changes. No.
Okay, you know what? Let's lead right into it.
Yeah, well, I my scene that could have saved it is
sorry.
I'm an equal partner in this podcast, Simone.
I'm so toxic. I'm so sorry.
It's all about you and your damn tattoos. So my scene that could have saved it, I just want like a little bit of growth from Harden. he is constantly apologizing for his actions, and that's not growth, kids. Guys, I know movie writing is hard, but saying sorry for your actions is not fucking growth.
And then turning around
growth.
and being this exact same shitty person again.
Exactly. A really important lesson for all of our listeners, if you haven't realized this already, saying sorry means nothing if you continue that behavior. Saying sorry should only be in relation to the fact that you're going to change your behavior and never do that thing again. Otherwise, don't say sorry. Like, fuck's sake. It's a really basic concept. So yeah, I just would have liked to see Hayden just be like, oh, right, that was a piece of shit move. I'm going to stop doing that and be better for Tessa because I love her so much, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, I'm just going to work on me. I might see a therapist or something for my deeply held trauma.
Yeah, for real. Yikes. So would you watch it again?
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like there are better trashy romances out there that I could sink my teeth into, you know?
I get you. For me, this is like a really weird comparison, but you know, like when you watch porn and then you like hate yourself a little for watching porn and you're just like, oh, this is kind of gross.
Yeah.
But you're gonna do it again.
I can't believe I'm enjoying this.
Yeah. And you know you're gonna watch porn again.
Yeah.
And you know, you will feel the same way.
This.
And so yes, I probably will watch this film again.
But you won't be proud of it.
I won't be proud of it. And if anyone asks, oh, what was the last thing you watched? It will be whatever we watched before this. It will never be these films.
Yeah.
Straight.
Fair.
Right, Simone, shall we crank the dial up to 15 and just get fucking raucous with this?
Fuck yeah, Chad. Let's go. Tell me about all the happenings in this movie, because a lot of stuff happens.
Oh man, I've skipped so much.
How long is your synopsis? Like 10 minutes?
It looked like it was going to be that way. Like my first 3 paragraphs just described basically like the opening couple salvos, and then I was like, I can't. I've got work to do.
You gotta roll through.
So a lot of it is just, and then they had sex, and that's where I leave it. Which is a lot of this movie, to be fair. So the film picks up right where we left off after the last film. Tessa, played by Josephine Langford, has just left Hardin, played by Hero Finds Tiffin, after finding out that his love for her was fake and centered around a bet he made with another girl. Because of the breakup, Hardin is absolutely miserable. He won't stop texting and calling Tessa, but she never responds. On the other side of town, Tessa, while sad about the whole Hardin thing, is actually flourishing. She has this new internship with a book publisher, which she is just about to start. On her first day there, she meets Trevor, played by Dylan Sprouse. He's this super cute, nerdy guy who loves accountancy and numbers. They seem to get along really, really well. So on her first night at the publishing house, she reads 3 books in one night. This impresses her boss, Christian Vance, played by Charlie Weber, so much that he invites her out to a club to try and win business, the business of one of Vance's key backers. You see, Vance has ideas of expanding the publishing house, and he needs serious financial backing, specifically from this one guy who will be at the club that night. Tessa, Vance, and Trevor all go to the club. Tessa and Trevor end up drinking with the financial backer, and things are looking really good. That is until Tessa gets so drunk that she decides to call Hardin. They have a weird exchange, and Hardin tracks her down using her location from her phone.
Oh my God.
So he shows up at the hotel they're all staying in and barges into her room. They end up having crazy drunk sex. The next morning, sober and fragile, Tessa wakes up and immediately regrets what's happened. She and Hardin have another fight and she storms out. Luckily, her bad mood is soon lifted when Vance tells her that because of her and Trevor's work the night before, they have obtained the financial backing. Later, Tessa goes round to Hardin's to pick up the rest of her stuff. She believes he's gone to London for the summer, so she kind of just wanders around and literally cleans up all of his mess. Literally, it's not even a fucking metaphor at this point. She then discovers that he bought her a Kindle and preloaded it with all of her favorite books. She cries and starts to think about how she might have made a mistake. That's when Hardin walks through the door with his mum, played by Louise Lombard. Turns out, instead of going to London for the summer, Hardin and his mum would stay there, mainly because Hardin's mum still believes that Hardin and Tessa are still together. Hardin didn't want to tell his mom that they broke up because he didn't want his mom to know about how much of a dick he is, and thus the reason for the breakup. Hardin begs Tessa to play along, and she, not so reluctantly, agrees. Surprise, surprise, they end up getting back together. Most of the movie is them either having sex or fighting and nothing in between, both of which are really good signs of a super healthy relationship. That is until the New Year's Eve party, when Tessa mistakenly believes that Hardin has been hooking up with this other girl all night. She storms out after kissing another guy. He doesn't come home that night, and so the next day, Tessa goes out looking for him in her car. Finally, she's able to get hold of him on his phone, and she goes to answer it. But unfortunately, she gets T-boned by another driver and ends up in the hospital. At this point, both Trevor and the whole host of other people tell Hardin to just piss off and leave her alone. Otherwise, she will never be happy. He listens, disappears to London for 9 days, then decides, nope, what he really wants is Tessa, and he will do whatever it takes to win her back. He shows up at the party she's at, and she immediately forgives him, and they get back together. The end.
Chad, what is your cliffhanger?
I mean, there were so many golden moments to talk about in this movie, but it has to be this one. And it's the one where Hardin's mom comes back in and she convinces Tessa to stay for her birthday with them. Now, I've chosen this scene because it perfectly encapsulates gaslighting, which is basically the whole film, because no one listens to what Tessa wants to do. Instead, they are now going to do whatever they want to do and convince Tessa that that's what she wanted to do. And no wonder Hardin is so fucked up if this is her mother's attitude to things.
Yeah.
A mess.
Yeah. I mean, where do we start with this movie?
Okay, let's start with the flat, because I think that is the best metaphor for this movie. Because she comes in and the flat is a mess, right? If I'm the professor who's just come back from Italy for the summer, really excited, my flat, so excited to see my plants. It's not summer,
this is the winter holidays. I think they're just like in LA or something. So.
Oh, right, okay, makes sense.
Sorry.
Okay, she's coming home for Christmas. Changed my mind. She's coming home for Christmas. She's gonna spend some time with her plants. She's really excited. She walks in, and that place is the mess that Hardin's left it. Rage.
Oh,
rage.
I'd murder someone.
Anger.
I'd murder someone.
I'd murder him, like, without question. Like, he'd be dead.
Especially a long ass flight all the way from Italy. Like, you get home, all you want to do is just like shower and pass out in your nice, clean, untouched bed.
And there's condoms everywhere in the shower.
Oh, God.
Because you know he wouldn't throw them away. That's Hardin's vibe.
18-year-olds are disgusting.
The smell. 18-year-old boy smell? No. Yeah. So she cleans the apartment. Again, a great metaphor for literally cleaning up his mess that he's left behind. Because she thinks he's fucked off to London. He's basically fucked off to London. So he's like, cool. Also,
so he just left the apartment like that.
Yes. Also, the fact he knows, obviously she doesn't know, Tessa doesn't know, but Hardin knows that he's coming back to the flat with his mum. What kind of person is like, yeah, my mom's going to be cool with this and is not going to shit on me from a dizzy height for doing this? Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Okay. So those are my feelings about the flat. I'm gonna breathe and let you take the mic on this one. On the next part.
Just should we talk about Tessa's career in publishing? No, the timeline for this is really fucked up because this is an internship that she starts during her winter break. So she has done one semester of college. Semester of college. And she's like, cool, I'm going to do this internship that's paid, by the way. Yeah. She shows up. They're like, oh, here's your own office.
Jesus.
And they're like, yeah, so you just read like 5 manuscripts a week. So she's like making calls already. Like she's not doing grunt intern work. She is doing editor work.
It is baffling how much the author does not understand about publishing.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And then she does one solid night of work, like good for her. She wakes up, the boss is like in the office, like reading through her stuff. He's like, oh, this is really good. And he's just decided that like, this is her career now.
Mhm.
And then at the end, he's like, yeah, so we're moving to Seattle and I want you to take up a position there. It's like, she is a college student, sir. And he's like, oh, there's no one else I trust. And it's like, okay, but that's
What?
like, maybe it's because you're in the business of hiring people who do good work one time.
It is incredible how much money this guy has to just throw away. Because okay, so
Yes.
his girlfriend comes in at one place and says like, oh yeah, we're ordering from Postmates, that's where we get lunch from, just order whatever you want. Like they just have all the money. Then they get to the club and Vance is like, oh, just go and buy her a dress, she's gonna need a dress and she's gonna need new shoes and all this kind of stuff. And then they're like gonna open up the Seattle thing. Why do you need a financial backer, friend? You clearly have all the money on the planet.
You need a better accountant, frankly.
Yeah, Trevor is shit at accountants. Trevor's just like, dog, I've never seen so much money in my life. We're absolutely golden. He doesn't understand how like an overdraft or a loan works at all. He's just like, we can just keep getting money from the bank. You know that, right?
Also, you know, the glamorous world of publishing and business, where business deals are conducted in clubs where you can't hear anyone talk. There's no PowerPoint being shown. There's no presentation. There's no chat. They just have to finish a Sex on the Beach fishbowl. And it's not even the owner of the business who has to finish this fishbowl with the guy. It's his two fucking weird interns who aren't even supposed to be drinking. And the guy's like, oh yeah, those kids can really throw away some shitty cocktails. Take my money.
I wish publishing was like this, because you and I would be just like the heads of Penguin and Harper Lee Collins. We would be just there because we could drink people under the table. We'd be fine. Like no presentations, just spending everyone else's money. Gold.
I can be hot in a club and drink from a fishbowl to get some money. Like
exactly.
I did that for free for most of my youth.
Exactly. And now you're gonna get paid and have your own office as an intern.
Great.
What? Unbelievable.
And they put her car on the company policy too.
What is that, right? Like, I would love to find a company like that. If there is anyone hiring out there, even if it's just like, you know what, I don't care about being an intern. Let's do it. I'm happy to read 5 books a week and have all those perks. Beautiful. Yeah. Oh, and they pay for our hospital bills too. If you're just sorting through like the slush pile, you don't even have to read the whole thing really. Like you read maybe the first chapter and you're like, I don't know. And you can pretty much discard as at will. Yeah. Or you sort it into a maybe pile and your higher up then discards it. Exactly. And I would love to see what the higher ups' lives are like. Like even just like middle management must be ballin'. Oh my God. Yeah, they're just partying all the time. That's why he had to hire her. He was like, literally no one else is sober right now. I do not know how to run a company. So if you could help me run the Seattle branch, that would be grand. I'd really appreciate it. The dialogue in this movie is maybe one of my favorite things of all time. So obviously they really ramp up the swearing. It is really dialed up to 10. But my favorite line. So there was a very specific change with how this movie was produced. Okay. The author of the novels, Anna Todd, did not like how the first movie was done. So she won the rights back, and then those rights were sold to a different company. And she insisted on being a producer in this movie. So that's why the movie is R-rated. That's why like it's a little more sweary, it's a little less darling teen romance, and a lot more toxicity, sex everywhere all the time, swearing. So there's a real reason that this movie feels super different. Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense now, because I was wondering, because there is quite a huge gap between the first one and the second one, so that's very, very interesting. My favorite line from this one, however, is definitely when they first hook up again, and it's in the hotel room, and Hardin goes, "Tell me I'm the only one." That is when, even drunk, you're just like, cool, best red flag I've ever
Oh,
seen in my
this
life.
has been fun.
Blazing red flag. I'm a duck out. Thanks though. You can keep
if
the
not
hotel
for the
room.
fact, again, I feel like this is such a fan fiction trope. Is like the main character is like calling the guy, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so drunk," and he's immediately like, "I'll come save you. I'll come get you." Like, there's
No.
literally no need. She has given no indication that she was in any form of distress.
Exactly. She didn't
And he's like,
want him to
"She's
be
drunk. I must come to her.
I must
What?
save her. It's like, what? You're drunk 90% of the time. Calm down.
Yeah, buddy."
Yeah. His behavior in this also is like stepped up by 10. Like that
Oh.
fight they have at the New Year's party is one of my favorite scenes because you could see it in your head, just like these drunk teenagers just like standing outside, just having this massive fight, and you're just like, I just wanted to have like a nice time. Why is there always one couple who ruins this?
And it's so dumb. Like, again, like, this is why I say, like, sometimes I'm not sure if their relationship is toxic or if they're just like both so bad at communicating. Like, so bad at it, because all he had to do was be like, "Hey, because I'm trying to change and get better, I'm actually apologizing to this girl for how I treated her. I'm just gonna go chat to her if that's cool." And she'd be like, "Okay, yeah, thanks for letting me know." And instead, she like, he refuses to tell her what he was talking to the girl about. He doesn't even mention that he's talking to her. And then she's like, "Oh, it's because I don't trust you." And it's like, okay, but this is not the moment to bring it up. You could have brought it up like at some point while you were shacking up and been like, "Hey, like, I'm committed to this relationship, but I'm really struggling with trust because, you know, it was all based on a bet that you made with your asshole friends."
Yeah, exactly.
Easy,
And then they could have
done.
talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But instead they were just like, they live very separate lives, get together to hook up, and then get really mad when they don't know what's going on in each other's lives. Like the fact that like she's gonna move to Seattle and whatever. Like she hasn't even made that decision and he freaks the fuck out. He should have just been like, "Oh, what's this about Seattle? Like, what's happening? Like, I'm really proud of you because you know this is a healthy relationship and I want to see you succeed. And while it sucks
and it's
that
really
I won't be
fucking
able to
weird
come,
that you're getting promoted like
yeah, I thought you were an intern.
2 minutes into this internship.
Yeah, I thought you were an intern. I'm very confused, but that's not beside the point. I'm really proud of you. Like, and it sucks that we can't go to Seattle together, but like, that's great. Like, what's happening? And then she goes, "Oh no, I haven't decided yet." Cool. No, instead he's just like, "Oh, fuck. I'm gonna drink and smash a lamp." Like, that's my vibe.
Yeah.
Look, we're gonna run long because of these fucking films. So let's just like, there's a lot of the same from the first movie. So is there anything that's
I feel like Tessa's a lot more unhinged in this one.
Yes.
Like in the first movie, she's very I feel like in the first movie she really knows herself a bit better. Like something I liked was you know, at Hardin, she's like, at some point she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell Noah about us," or Nate or whatever. I'm gonna tell him about us. And he's like, "Why? Like, we're not dating. I don't date." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And she leaves. And then when he mentions it later, she's like, "You know, if you don't date, you don't date. Like, that's fine. I can get over it." And then they proceed to like make out for the first time. But like still, like she's like, she seems like that kind of person where she's very much like, "Oh, okay, well, if that's what you say, then like I can get over it." And like she is fucking unhinged in the second one. Like,
oh my God.
Full on angry all the time, angry and screechy. And I know it's supposed to be like, oh, it's because she doesn't trust him, but it's like, this is not the way, like, this doesn't make sense.
No, she completely just consumes his personality and just, you know, becomes him. And so you have this really weird vibe where both of them
they're all
are
just acting
awful.
out all the time.
Yeah, you can like. There's a great Key and Peele sketch about this where it's like Megan and her boyfriend.
No!
Yeah, exactly. And this is exactly that relationship. And we'll link to it in the show notes because it is just one of the funniest sketches, and it is this movie in its entirety. Scene that could have saved it for this one.
Oh man, maybe that poor woman getting back from Italy and being like, "Get the fuck out." What are you doing? Get out!
This is my house, you gross people. I'm pressing charges.
Or maybe Hardin's dad, you know, I guess this is retrospectively, but like Hardin's dad looking at 12-year-old angry Hardin who experienced a lot of trauma at a very young age and being like, let's get you into therapy. Let's get you
I
some
like
help.
it. Yeah, it's a prequel. It's a prequel.
Yeah. Like, I mean, his dad clearly did a 12-step program, so he understands the value of like counseling and therapy. And at no point does he look at his angry, tattooed 18-year-old and is like, maybe no.
He's very firmly in the boys will be boys camp, not realizing that his son is a monster.
Oh my God. So yeah, I think just therapy for everyone involved.
Therapy for everyone. Just you get a bit of therapy, you get a bit of therapy. Proper Oprah style.
What's your scene that could have saved it?
End the relationship. Just Tessa has it right at the end of the first movie. Yeah. And it's just her just constantly throughout an hour and a half of this movie
thinking going, with her vagina.
Yeah. And she just goes, no, Hardin, I don't want you back. You're a jerk and you have problems. Show me that you're willing to fix yourself. Yeah, showing that you're willing to fix yourself, and then I'm gold, and then we can go for it. Even if at the New Year's party, even if like she's been crazy all the way up to the New Year's party, and then she has that screaming match with him on the lawn, and she looks around and she's like, oh wait, I'm not white trash.
What am I doing?
You're not white trash. What the fuck is this? Yeah. And then they land it, and everything's fine afterwards. Yeah. And then she dates Trevor because
a moment where they're both like, "Are we doing this? Are we these people?"
Exactly. Perfect. That would be such a great resolution.
And then she gets together with Trevor, who will just help her sort out her life. He's so sweet.
He finds her a car. It's so cute. He finds her a car.
He crunches the numbers for her. My love language is acts of service. So I was very much like, oh my God.
It is the sweetest thing. That was so cute. And he's adorable. Like him in his little suit cute. And he's got his glasses and he's so nerdy, but he drinks still and he knows Japanese. He's so cool.
Yes.
Love Trevor. Yes.
Yeah.
I want to see more of Trevor in the third one, which is called After We Fall. Or After We Fell.
Wait, I've got it in front of me here. Hang on. It's
do you have like a full like
After
notes?
Ever Happy?
What a name.
Then After We Fell.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So After Ever Happy is in post-production right now. So God willing, we'll get it this year. And then After We Fell is going to be filming in 2021 or coming out in 2021.
That's very exciting. I'm very excited for all of this. Yeah. This is gonna be really good.
I'm invested now.
Especially if you have a name like After. What is it? After Ever After?
Oh God! After Ever Happy.
Oh, it's like Happy Ever After, but backwards because this sucks. Like all of this is awful. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Would you watch this one again?
Yes. Okay. Is that what you want to hear? I'd watch it again. I've spent the last hour and a half bitching about these movies, and I'd watch them again tomorrow. The sex scenes were very steamy in this. It was good. Their chemistry has only grown in power.
Like Sauron in the Dark Ring. It's too powerful to take down.
It's just corrupting me.
Look, if I ever went to a yoga class and I see these two fucking teenagers doing the shit that they're pulling at the yoga, I'm gonna be mad, but I'm happy to watch it in a film.
I'll go home and be like, Rudy, there were these disgusting teenagers, and I've never been more jealous.
Oh my God. Oh, that's too funny. Yes, fuck these movies, they suck, but we're gonna watch them again. I hate it. I genuinely do hate that
we're invested now, Chad. Like we're in it for the long haul.
Oh man, all 5 movies.
And they're not gonna get better.
No, they're only gonna get worse. More screaming, more toxicity. It's gonna be so rough.
I'm thrilled.
Okay.
I'm thrilled.
What a time. What a time to be alive. Jesus. All right, what's your what's your gratitude for the week?
Oh, my gratitude for the week. Oh, I went to one of my best friend's weddings last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, for my first Jewish wedding ever, which
How
was super
exciting.
cool to experience. They had this really great rabbi doing the ceremony where like he explained the significance of everything that was happening. So
Aw.
yeah, so like it wasn't just us like listening to blessings for half an hour. He was like, "Oh, and this is what this does, and this is what this means," which was really cool. The weather
Yeah.
really played ball. It was like a beautiful day. Doing the horror was so fun. I've literally never had more fun in my life. It was so fun.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you had a good time, dude. Like that's
Yeah.
that's so cool. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
And like the experience of a Jewish wedding is just like it opens your
So
mind
good.
to so many things. It's so
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
So yeah, just super grateful that I got to experience that my friend's wedding went off so well after she'd been stressing. She had to postpone it for a year because of COVID. So it's just that it finally went super well. And everybody had a great time. And I got to spend time with my friends, celebrating my friends. Yeah, just grateful all around for that.
Oh,
And what about
that's
you?
so nice. Very similar vein, just not wedding related. I went to a pub on Friday night and hung out with my friend indoors. You know, he's had his
Wow.
vaccine. We were socially distanced, so it wasn't, you know, completely irresponsible and whatever. Plus, like our government allows it, so you know, not saying that's the right thing. Government's
Boris and all his
horrible.
wisdom.
Boris and all his shaggy head wisdom. But it was just really nice to be inside and hanging out with a friend who I haven't seen in like a year and a half. And we had nachos and we drank far too much beer. And it was just
Nice.
really lovely to start to
Nice.
have friends around again. And I'm so unbelievably happy to be able to do that again. It's been far too long and it was nice. Yeah. It's nice to, and I hate the phrase and I just never want to use it, but it's nice to be going back to normal kind of vibes. Ugh, it's a gross
In
phrase.
these trying times.
In these trying times. So Simone, in these trying times, I have an idea for next week, but do you have an idea? Because you always get nervous when I have an idea.
I'm already nervous, so let's have at it. It's your turn. I'm
Right,
feeling pretty, I'm still riding the high of discovering these movies, so.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with this, right? So, okay. Simone, I'm thinking we should join our eye-patched, parrot-wearing, single-legged friends in a pirate week.
Yes! Pirates. What movies are we doing?
So we could either do just a purely Pirates of the Caribbean week, because there are a lot of bad ones.
Yeah.
Or there is a film called Cutthroat Island that we could do alongside a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. So would you want me to tell you which Pirates films they are, just in case you want to
because I know
like a full...
we did On Stranger Tides in a previous episode.
Wow, I do not remember that. Maybe I blocked it out of my memory. Well, in that case, there are only two other ones. So it's At World's End and the newest one, Dead Men Tell No Tales, which I have not seen, and it sounds terrible.
Let's do Dead Men Tell No Tales. Let's do Cutthroat Island. Bam!
Oh, yes. Best of both worlds. Let's do this. So yes, we will be joining our pirate friends next week. How fun.
I love a good pirate movie. I used to love the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Like I think I had the DVD. I think I was in 6th grade. I had the DVD and I used to watch like all the extras and like all, you know, they had like a whole documentary about like the making of the movie. I was so obsessed. I loved it.
Are
and
you
then
sure you're not bisexual?
I wrote a very bad Pirates of the Caribbean fan fiction.
I'm so mad because you keep bringing up these fan fictions that you wrote and all these videos that you were part of and things, and there's no record of them, and it makes me really mad because I want this content. This is the content.
I'm happy that there is no record.
It makes me really mad. I will go to my grave very mad about it.
If you get a genie and you have one wish,
that's it. Without question, if my wife lay dying and I had the ability to save her, or get Simone's fan fiction and other related content from her teenage years, you know which ones I'm gonna be choosing. Your gunster.
Your wife.
Yeah, it's the fan fiction. She would appreciate the fact. I would read some to her.
She's led a good life.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh goodness me. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching, for listening. We really do appreciate it. What do you think about toxic relationships? What do you think about these movies if you've seen them? What do you think about pirates movies? What kind of pirate would you be? The fun-loving, swashbuckling kind, or the really, really mean kind? Let us know in every way that you can. And where are those places, Simone?
They can tell us on Facebook or Instagram at Fresh Tomatoes Podcast, on Twitter at Fresh Tomatoes MP. They can email us at freshtomatoespodcast@gmail.com. They can hang out with us on the Robots Radio Discord.
Yes, super, super fun in the Discord. We have a lot of laughs there, so it is a good place to join. And while you're on the internet, why not leave us a rating? Leave us a little bit of a comment, a little bit of a review. It really does help us climb up those algorithms. We're on that corporate ladder. We just want to climb up it. One rung at a time, and you can help us there. You could be our boost. Come on, you can help. And as we say at the end of every week, we love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Does that also not sound really toxic? As now, like in line of these movies.
No, don't. You're overthinking it.
Am I overthinking it?
Guys,
okay.
We love you. There's nothing you can do about it. If anything goes wrong in our relationship, it's your fault.
Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna say
Let's
goodbye
add that
now. Oh, I'm terrified, but I'm never gonna leave you. Goodbye.